Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and in today's video it's going to be really brief just because I feel like this story is kind of calmed down, pretty much the update that we've been waiting for. And I did not expect my first video to get so much traction. I really was sharing Gavin's story in hopes of really magnifying him and supporting him and allowing him to really tell his side, not even tell his side of the story, but just to share how he was wronged. Because in this situation, strictly looking at Gavin's mistreatment as a client, I think was something that I really wanted to uplift, as so many people were already covering like the Adam McIntyre of it all, you know, the other, you know, people that Joshua David Evans has harmed in his behavior. And so I really just felt called to uplift Gavin's story, as, you know, he is someone that really did not ask for any of this. And all the victims that have been harassed by Joshua David Evans did not ask for any of this. I just feel like Gavin's story was the breaking point for me personally, where I was like, okay, I want to share his story and support him in any way I can. At the time of posting this video, Gavin has posted an entire update. He eloquently described how he felt. He felt very uneasy like coming out with this video, and how it was very vulnerable of him to do so. And a lot of people in the commentary space, like I said, I'm not in the commentary space, I'm just someone that wanted to amplify his story. Gavin's response was basically what everyone's been feeling, even what I've been feeling with my video of like, we don't want to push Joshua David Evans to the edge and drag on him because he's saying that he's in a bad mental headspace. And I think that's very important. You know, by no means do I have any hatred towards Joshua David Evans. By no means do I want him to be in the worst position of his life. I don't know him from person to person. It's just me objectively looking at the actions you committed towards Gavin that I didn't like. And not that I just didn't like, but was extremely horrible and disrespectful, and that deserves to be called out. And as of this video, he has deleted all his videos regarding the whole situation, his initial coming for Adam, his, you know, fake I owe Adam McIntyre a huge apology, mocking him. And he also released a third and final video that was 7 minutes long, I believe yesterday or a couple days ago over the weekend, basically wanting to tell his side of the story about this documentary. And the consensus that I feel online, and also my consensus personally, is that we do not care about this documentary. What people are talking about is wanting to get justice for the people that were harmed by you and the people that you wronged. For example, Gavin, we just want him to be rightfully compensated, get his channel back, and be able to put this chapter and close the door and move on with his life and continue to be an amazing booktuber. That was the goal of amplifying his video and posting about it, because from the looks of it, Joshua, you were completely avoiding working with him. You were completely avoiding connecting him to the right channels. At the end of the day, you told Gavin verbatim that it was going to take you a week to figure out how to, you know, get him out of this contract. You had to talk to so and so and so, and it was going to take some time. After his video was published and started going viral, he was released from his contract within 2 hours. So it was just conflicting stories. From an outsider's point of view, no hate towards you, and, you know, not trying to drag you or come for you, just looking at it objectively, you were waiting to collect more money on his account before releasing him. That's what it looked like, because why, from coming from your mouth, is it gonna take a week to get, you know, him out of his contract and to really address the problems that are going on, and then less than 2 hours later he's getting released by Studio 71, and Studio 71 reached out to him and provided an update, which I'm gonna get into in a couple seconds. But it's just giving sleazy, it's giving, you know, like sneaky, conniving. It's not being upfront and genuine. And even though you're in a dark headspace, which I am praying for you. I hope that, you know, you and your family are okay. Like, I don't wish any ill on you or your family. That still doesn't mean you cannot be held accountable for your actions. I know I've been in a dark place mentally and have been through some hard traumatic events in my life where, yeah, I've been very low to where I didn't want to be here anymore. You know, I really empathize with that, and that's a very serious place to be in that no one should ever be in. That doesn't just dismiss your behavior. You have to take accountability, and you have to, you know, own up to your mistakes. It's the same in your professional career. If you make a mistake on the job, you have to be held accountable for it, obviously appropriately, of course. All love, I really hope that, you know, you take the time that you need, you take a step back. You know, you did delete your videos, so I don't know, you know, what the consensus was. You know, maybe you'll come out with something else, maybe you won't. But I'm very happy and content with the fact that many of us speaking up about Gavin's situation has given him the closure that he's needed, and I'm gonna get into that in a second, but has allowed him to feel comfortable with, like, okay, you know what, like, my situation's getting a little bit better, because he was vulnerable. He broke down crying in his video of, like, I don't know where I'm gonna be able to, I don't know how I'm gonna pay my bills, and that's very scary. And like, he was just someone that deserved to have his story uplifted, and I'm always gonna stand by that 110%. And I truly believe that you just amplifying people's stories of people that have been wronged is not dragging someone online. It's not dragging someone to get views. It truly is like, hey, the internet can be used as a place for genuine good and to really help people in need. And we need more of that in this world. We truly, truly need more empathy. We need more people helping and looking out for each other in this world, especially during times like this. Gavin came out and did a follow-up update where he basically said that he got an email from Studio 71, and they said that he was going to get his channel back entirely. He's been released from the contract. There's nothing that's in the air. There's nothing being held over him. They also were stating that they were going to reimburse him that 10%. So he's just going to get all his money revenue back for the months of May and June. And you could watch his video, I'm gonna link it below, of him listing the process of when he's going to get that money and how he's going to get paid back. In that video, this is where it makes it really difficult to kind of just be like, oh, everything's forgiven and everything's said and done, because there's big players behind the scenes that want to, you know, just reach out to protect a reputation, and that's the energy that I'm getting from this situation. Studio 71 mentioned that they wanted Gavin to take down or private his initial video because it doesn't represent Studio 71, and, you know, his one bad experience from his manager at the time, which is Joshua, does not represent their entire company. I totally get that from, you know, a corporate standpoint, but at the same time, it's very sleazy that you want someone to remove and private their video, which prays to Gavin, where he's like, I'm keeping this up there because I want this documented, and I want to make sure, like, I can remove everything or private it when everything's been closed, because he hasn't been paid yet. You know, this is just an agreement that they've emailed about, you know, so he wants to keep things open until things are really set in stone and finalized. But that's looking as a positive, and so I applaud Gavin for standing on his ground. Like, in the email you'll see in his video, it was a request. It was not a demand. It was not an NDA. Oh, like, we won't give you your money back unless you remove these videos. It was just a request. So take with that what you will. They can request all they freaking want, but Gavin does not have to remove anything. And the fact that they didn't serve him with any legal documentation, which I think is a very positive. He was just telling a story, and it made Studio 71 react just like that, which is very, very telling. Which is insane to me. The email that Joshua David Evans followed up with after this big email from Studio 71 was very cold. It was very corporate, like, one and done, does not matter. No genuine formal apology towards Gavin. So I don't know what Joshua David Evans was told to do or what not to do, but it's just very like, okay, you got called out. And I think it was a big problem because Joshua David Evans posted a telling my side of the story video that I mentioned already that is now deleted. That video has since been deleted. And I wish I would have like took screenshots, but Gavin actually made note of it in his video. Like I said, I'm linking his video. Go watch, go support him. He deserves all the support, and this is his story. So I believe that, you know, you should see his receipts and his timelines on everything, because that's really important. But he was saying that in the email that Joshua shared on his telling my side of the story video, Joshua was so focused about making a statement that he was misled regarding this documentary from, you know, I was told like conflicting information, I was lied to, and then they wouldn't talk to me about why Johnny was going to be, you know, interviewed for this documentary, and how they were being shady and how he was done wrong. And in him trying to prove his side of the story, he showed conflicting evidence, which I think this is really important. This is very much important because this is Gavin's story. He showed evidence that he apparently canceled a meeting with Gavin to meet with this documentary team. And the timestamps are there in both of their emails that they shared, in Joshua's email and Gavin's email. It's very obvious that Joshua was supposed to have a client meeting with Gavin sometime in May, and it was supposed to be with him and his intern, and that this was supposed to talk about, you know, just being part of your client. And Joshua reached out to Gavin and said, I'm so sorry, you know, there's been a switch with our softwares to where I have to push your meeting back. Are you free anytime between Tuesday and the next day? Like, he reads the whole email in detail. And then Joshua posts his video, and the documentary team is like, hey, like, we want to meet with you. Are you free on this Friday? And he says, oh yeah, I have nothing, I'm totally free. And Gavin's like, what the heck? You were supposed to be meeting with me. So it was just, the reason why that's important is because it proves what we have been saying about Joshua's unprofessionalism, lack of care with Gavin, and just lack of care for his position and his job. It really does seem like he was like all 10 toes down for this documentary and didn't care about all the other obligations that he had prior to them reaching out to him. That's just a personal opinion, but it's very clear that I'm not the only person that has come to this consensus. I'm hoping that Gavin gets, you know, more support, and that all the new subscribers to his page enjoy his booktube. I'm definitely gonna be enjoying it because I love book talk. I love being a part of, like, you know, book clubs, and, you know, I love reading, so I will be sticking around. But that's pretty much the update as of right now. Like I said, Joshua's video has been deleted, so I don't know what is going on behind the scenes. I hope he takes the time that he needs. At the same time, it's like, you can't just come out and try and kickstart, you know, this drama channel feud, and, you know, trolling people because you think it's what people want, and you're telling Gavin like, oh, like, I have to troll people, and, you know, just doing all this childish stuff, and then try to erase it all and expect it to just, you know, not have an effect on you. By any means, I don't want you to, you know, lose your job, and I don't want you to be in a financial situation, because literally that's, no one deserves that. I just want Gavin to be taken seriously. And it sucks that it had to take Gavin literally being scared to death and coming out with such a vulnerable video for things to actually progress and to give him the support that he needed. Like, Joshua, at a professional level, you know, Gavin was just asking to speak to someone besides you regarding the matter, and it just really proved to us that you were not considerate of that at all. This is your client. You want to provide good customer service, good support, if you truly care about them and you truly believe that you're here to help them. I just think that's the name of your job. But you know, we'll see what happens. This has just been such a great reminder of the good parts of the internet, the good parts of people's communities coming together, the good parts of supporting each other during difficult times like this. And you know, I'm just gonna be here rooting for Gavin. I'm gonna be here supporting him through and through. Thank you so much, Gavin, for even resharing my video and not expect all the support and love on that video. Like I said, this is very much new territory for me, and I just wanted to be a positive light in addition to what you wanted to share. So definitely we will be supporting you and, you know, rooting you on. But thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next one.